High school, everyone knew Prince as the quiet young man who often sat alone, hiding feelings too heavy for his age. His heart belonged to a girl named Memory. She had a gentle smile and a spirit that lit up every room she entered. Prince loved her deeply, but fear always stood between him and the words he longed to say. Graduation came and went, and his love remained unspoken. After high school, life separated them for a while, but fate, patient and kind, brought them together again. Older now, braver, Prince finally confessed his love. Memory listened, and what had once been silence turned into something beautiful. They became lovers, living in a happiness that felt strong and true. Then came Leonard Muru. Leonard was bold, confident, and determined. He developed a crush on Memory and refused to let go, even knowing she was already in love. Slowly, through persistence and charm, he worked his way into her heart. Prince noticed the change too late. One painful evening, Memory admitted the truth. Her feelings had shifted. She had fallen for Leonard Muru. Prince was shattered. Love turned into sorrow, and sorrow into anger. Consumed by betrayal and desperation, he sought answers in forbidden places. He went to the Sangomas, pleading for justice that twisted into revenge. Dark rituals were performed, and a curse was released into the night. Not long after, storm clouds gathered violently. Thunder roared as lightning tore through the sky. In a single, fatal strike, Leonard Muru was killed. The ground beneath him burned and broken. The village whispered in fear. Memory mourned in tears. And Prince, though his rival was gone, found no peace. The revenge he sought brought him no relief, only guilt and emptiness. He learned too late that love lost through vengeance cannot be reclaimed, and that some actions leave scars no lightning can erase.
After Leonard Muru's death, the world fell into silence. Grief wrapped Memory in confusion, heavier than tears. Then one morning, her body revealed a truth her heart was not ready to face. She was pregnant, but certainty did not come with the news, only fear. Unsure of the child's father and terrified of standing alone, Memory made a choice. She said the child was Prince's. Far away, Prince had disappeared from the life he once knew, hiding from the storm he had summoned. Then the news reached him. Memory was pregnant, and she was claiming he was responsible. For one fragile moment, Prince felt happiness. A living bond still tied them together, something that might bring her back. But fear followed immediately behind. What if love reunited them only to expose the truth he buried beneath thunder and fire? Every storm reminded him. Every silence accused him. What if Memory began to ask questions? What if she discovered how Leonard truly died? Standing alone beneath a distant sky, Prince understood the cruel truth. The child could save him or destroy him, because some sins do not die. They wait to be revealed.
Memory lived each day wrapped in regret. She carried her pregnancy alone, without the father of her child beside her. Every morning she woke with a heavy heart, and every night she slept with tears soaking her pillow. She regretted ever leaving Prince for Leonard. She regretted turning her back on the one man who had loved her purely, quietly, and completely. Now that love was gone. Her parents, ashamed and afraid of the whispers in the village, could no longer protect her. They told her to leave and go stay with the father of her unborn child. But there was nowhere to go. Leonard was dead. and Prince was nowhere to be found. So Memory walked alone, carrying not just a child in her womb, but the weight of her choices in her heart. Every step reminded her of what she had lost. Every kick of the baby reminded her that she was suffering alone, abandoned by love, judged by family, and haunted by regret. Prince, on the other hand, was living a life ruled by anger and guilt. The betrayal cut him deeper than he had ever admitted. The love of his life had chosen another man, and in his pain, he had chosen revenge. Now, the image of Leonard's death replayed in his mind over and over, refusing to let him rest. He no longer cared about the future. Prince drank to forget. He stayed drunk to silence his thoughts. But no matter how much alcohol burned his throat, it could not erase the memories. The storm, the lightning, the body falling, the silence afterward. And worse than all of it was the thought of Memory, alone, pregnant, suffering. He told himself she deserved it, but his heart told him she didn't. One night, as Prince sat alone with an empty bottle in his hand, the truth finally broke through his anger. Revenge had destroyed Leonard, but it had also destroyed him. And Memory was paying the highest price of all. That night, Prince made a decision. For the first time since everything fell apart, he chose not anger, not revenge, not alcohol. He chose to go back. He chose to look for Memory, not knowing whether she would forgive him, not knowing whether she would even want to see him, but knowing that running away had only made the pain grow. And so, with a broken heart and a haunted soul, Prince began the journey back to the woman he once loved, and the child who might still be his responsibility. Prince returned quietly. The village did not welcome him. It only watched. Whispers followed him until he stopped an old woman by the roadside. Her eyes were sharp, tired, and full of stories she would never tell. "Do you know where Memory is staying?" Prince asked. The old woman studied him for a long moment. "She stays alone now," she said finally. "At the edge of the village, that small house near the dry fields." Prince thanked her and walked on. The house was smaller than he expected, lonelier. Prince stood outside the door, his heart heavy with questions he was afraid to ask. Questions about love, about forgiveness, about whether he had already lost everything. He knocked. Memory opened the door. She froze. Prince stood there, thinner, quieter, eyes carrying a pain she did not know how to read. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then Memory's hand moved to her belly, as if reminding herself why he was here. "I didn't think you would come," she said carefully. "I didn't know if I should," Prince replied. She stepped aside and let him in, not because she trusted him, but because she needed answers. Inside, the room was bare. No comfort, no warmth, just survival. Prince noticed her belly again. "So it's true," he said softly. "Yes," Memory answered. There was hesitation in her voice, not about the child, but about him. "You came because of this," she said. It wasn't an accusation. It was a question. Prince didn't answer immediately. "I came because I couldn't stay away anymore," he said. Memory looked at him closely, searching his face. She didn't know if he still loved her. She didn't know if she even deserved to be loved by him again. "You don't owe me anything," she said quietly. "After what I did, I wouldn't blame you if you turned your back on me."
Prince felt those words cut deep. He looked away. "I don't know what you expect from me," he said honestly. "I don't know what you feel for me anymore either." Memory swallowed hard. "I don't know if you still love me," she admitted, "or if you're just here because you think you have to be." Prince said nothing, because deep down, he loved her more than he had ever loved anything. But love had already cost him too much to speak it aloud. It did not take long. In a village, silence is never empty. It is loud with questions. By the next morning, people knew Prince had returned. They had seen him walk toward Memory's house. They had seen him leave before sunset. And by nightfall, the whispers had hardened into judgment. Women spoke in low voices near the well. Men gathered near the road, shaking their heads. Children stared without understanding.
After Prince returned, life did not change all at once. It softened. Without announcing it, without promises or explanations, Prince began living with Memory again as if it were a normal life. Not as lovers, not as strangers, just two people sharing the same roof and the same silence. Prince rose early every morning. He did odd jobs wherever he could find them. Some days he worked in the fields. Other days he fixed broken fences, repaired roofs, or carried water for neighbors. He accepted the work quietly and returned home before sunset, bringing whatever he had earned. At home, he did not rest. He chopped wood. He fetched water. He fixed doors that no longer closed properly. He patched the leaking roof. Small things, ordinary things, the kind of life that asked no questions. Memory watched him at first with caution. She did not know if this calm would last. She did not know if one day he would grow tired and disappear again, so she said little and expected less. But Prince stayed. He cooked when she was tired. He listened when she spoke. He never touched her unless she moved closer first. He never spoke of love, forgiveness, or the future. Slowly, the silence between them changed. It became less sharp, less heavy. The village noticed, too. People saw Prince leave early and return before dark. They saw him working, providing, staying. The whispers did not stop, but they softened with time. And Memory's belly continued to grow. Each day made it more real. Each movement of the baby reminded her that whatever lay between her and Prince, something else now depended on them both. Prince noticed every change, how she tired easily, how she paused while walking, how her hand often rested on her belly without thought. He never asked questions. He simply adjusted, caring more, working harder, speaking less. At night, they slept under the same roof, separated not by distance but by quiet uncertainty. Some nights, Memory lay awake, listening to Prince's breathing, wondering if this peace was real or only borrowed time. Some nights, Prince stared at the ceiling, wondering if this ordinary life was punishment or mercy. Then one night, everything changed. Memory stopped mid-step. Her breath caught. Her hand pressed hard against her belly. Prince looked up immediately. The pain came again, stronger than before. Her breathing grew uneven. "It's time," she whispered. Prince nodded, even though his hands trembled. He helped her sit, helped her stand, helped her move slowly to the bed. Outside, the night settled quietly over the village, unaware that a life was about to enter the world. Prince sent word quickly. The women came, carrying cloths, water, and quiet authority. An older woman took charge. Prince stepped back and waited near the doorway. Time moved strangely that night. Minutes stretched into hours. Memory's cries filled the house, faded, then returned stronger. Prince paced quietly, stopping every time her voice broke. He wanted to speak. He wanted to help. But all he could do was stay. At one point, everything went silent. Too silent. Prince's chest tightened. Then a cry cut through the night. Small, sharp, alive. Prince froze. An older woman stepped out. "It's a boy," she said. Prince could not speak. When he was finally allowed inside, Memory lay exhausted, pale but alive. In her arms was a small child, breathing, real. Prince stood still. Memory looked at him, her eyes tired and unsure. "It's done," she said softly. Prince nodded. For the first time in a long while, he let himself breathe.